Hi children, how are you all? Are you all fine? I hope you all are fine and well. Okay, let's begin a subject SS and chapter 5, the Vedic age. In our last period, I told you about the Vedic age. There are two ages, the early Vedic age and the later Vedic age, and about Aryans. So, we'll see about the social life that the Vedas are there that greatly attached with the importance of family. So in short, family is a small unit. Family is called small unit, and the family was managed or headed by a head person or any male person, male member known as Grihpati. He managed all the family and he fed the whole family. Women also get important position in society in that period, and they could attend assemblies and religious that rituals with their husbands. Then women were educated, and the early Vedic period, widow remarriage that was not unknown, and child marriage was prohibited. In short, a male member, the head of the family, he can manage whole family, and a woman, they were educated, got important position in family, and they were means allowed with their husband in all religious rituals, and widow remarriage were unknown but not unknown. There was no restriction in marriage from that different groups in this period. In different groups, marriage that was allowed. A society with during this period, the caste system was there. In the society during this period, caste system was there. Caste system was there. According to that occupation, they were divided. And a person's job, it is very important. The caste system is depend on that person's job. And in the later Vedic age, that period caste system came to be based on person's birth. In early Vedic age, it was depend on that work, and the later Vedic age, it was depend by the birth. The caste system, the Vedas that introduced the Varnas. Vedas are introduced Varna system. The whole society is divided into different Varnas. Means the society was divided into different Varnas. The Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Sudras. The Brahmanas take care of religious rituals like priest. Kshatriyas, they were great warriors and they take care of the whole tribe. Then Vaishya people, they were related with the business, farmers and that all occupations. And last part is that Sudras, they are cleaners, they depend on others and the work for other people. They did various manual jobs. There was another caste that was that class of people called the Dasas. Dasas means that initially the means of Dasa is there, different cultures, but later on Dasa means it means that slave. They were men and women and were captured during the time of war, and they all were the personal property of any person, and whatever work he or she has to do by offered by their means that owners. So they will depend on the owners, and that owners own property. Owners can give them anyone. Dress and ornaments. You can see dress and ornaments. The clothes of Aryans were made up of that cotton and wool cloth. Most of the men and women wear cotton and wool clothes. Men and women wear two garments, upper garment and lower garments. Upper garments they wore like a shawl, and the lower garment they wore like dhotis. several ornaments like bangles and necklace and earrings that all were common and worn by the men and women. Food. The food of the Aryans, the Vedic people, largely that consist of milk, fruit, then vegetables, wheat, barley, then rice, then various type of meats and drinks like sora and suma on the special occasion they are taking. Means that various kind of foods like that different kind of meats, rice, barley, and wheat, they were main food, and soda and suma, the drinks and different kind of meats were prepared on special that any occasions. Economic life. Aryans, the Aryan peoples, they most of the cattle rearers and they rear cattle. The main occupation of the people were cattle rearing, and Vedic people they cultivated wheat, barley, rice, and that all. And cattle, horses, and sheep, goats, and dogs were domesticated during that period. The cow played an important role in the life of a man. A man's status is indicated by the strength of cows or cattle. Horses were also important animal for human beings. Then other occupations like pottery making, weaving, and spinning, carpentry, chariot making. These all occupations were there. Chariot racing, then hunting, gambling. These were their time pass and were some favorite pastimes of the Aryans. Religion. The Aryans worship various gods. The Aryans worship various gods like some nature gods. They worship natural things. We can see that various forces of nature. They wanted to protect themselves from natural disasters. So they worship natural gods. The gods of early Vedic periods mostly connected with the nature. Some of the important gods, that the Indra, the warrior, means the god of that rain, then the Agni, the god of fire, then Varun, the god of that, the Varun god is the god of that, water, and then the god of forest, they worship. Some goddesses they worship, like Aditi, the mother of gods, Usha, the goddess of dawn, Ratri, the spirit of night, and the Aryani, Aranyani, that is the goddess of forest, they worship. Other important that gods who worship like was Soma, the god of that plant. So these are the many plants and that gods they worship. Varun, Indra, Agni, Vayu, and goddesses they worship. So these were the gods they worship. There were no evidence of temples god. They worship these all natural gods. And fire was an important that god for all people, for all religions. They did yajnas and at all things they performed religious rituals by fire. The later Vedic age came. Later Vedic age then started. At the beginning of later Vedic age, around 1000 BC, people began to use iron. In short, the use of iron started in this period. So it is called Iron Age. People that Aryans settled in the plains of the Ganga and Yamuna river, and they started use of irons. Many changes took place during this period. Most of the information we got of this period from that Yajurveda, Atharvaveda, and that Samveda. That various events happened in this time, like Mahabharata, Ramayana. It's the happened during the end of this age. It is believed that as this period is also known as the epic age because many events happened during this age. Political life was there. The king acquired main position in this age. It had proper maintained and trained army. The prestige of king it is depend on the power and the places he won and the area, how much area he controlled, that much the prestige and value of the king was there. There were wars fought for control of that regions and for cattle they were fighting. The king acquired various positions. It's called by different names like Samrat, Raja, then these are the other names of kings. They sacrifice were there. The king performs yajnas like Ashwamedha Yajna and Rajasuya Yajna. They were to go. In the Ashwamedha Yajna, a horse was leave to move and some soldiers were following that horse. So how much that area that horse will cover, wherever he will go, that all area will come under the king's that property and the all area will managed by the king. Any king or any person try to stop that horse, it means there will be a war between the kings who left that horse. So no one can stop that horse and some later that horse was that sacrificed in a specific ceremony. Then Raja Yajna, that Raja Suya Yajna, it was happened for the king's power. Its power will increase. That's why they were doing this yajnas. And king started determining live offerings and getting that wishes. His wishes were big, and the other people will fulfill his wishes. Social life. Family was still a basic and important unit of this period in later Vedic age. Father or any male person was the head of that family. He maintained and fed back the whole family. Women they did not get important places in this age. Women's position declined. They did not get more importance in this period. They did not allow in religious situations with men, and during this period the caste system became hereditary and very rigid. The caste system happened very complex and rigid. Means that the son had to carry on his father's occupation. Son of any person, he had to follow his father's occupation. He can't do his own occupation. In some professions such as disposing of the dead bodies, the people who were doing that work, they were untouchable. The Brahmins and the Kshatriyas were there. They were getting more importance in this period. The people who were touching that dead bodies and cleaning work, they were not getting more importance. They were all untouchables by the all people. Means no one can touch them. And most that Kshatriyas and Brahmin peoples were there. They were getting more importance in all that people. So father is the head of this family. He maintained all that family. Women did not get in appropriate proper position. They did not allow in religious rituals and did not allow in some important that sabha. Then caste system, the son has to follow father's occupation. He can't select his own occupation. And people related with that disposing of the dead bodies, they were untouchable. The four stages of life. The Vedic religion, the Vedic literature, there was a concept of four that stages of life. It is called Varna Shrama. It is called Varna Shrama. According to Vedic literature, the whole life of a human first Varna is that are divided in four stages, we can say. The first stage was Brahmacharya, a student life. Brahmacharya ashram, it is called a student life. Second, there was Grihastha. Grihastha means family life. That Grihastha is a family life. And the third was Varnaprastha. It is a life as a hermit. Varnaprastha, life of hermit. And the fourth stage of life, it is Sannyasa, the total renunciations of world pleasures. Yes, the person had to leave at all these things near to went in the forest and sacrifice, means that he had to pray for the god. So four varnas are there, that the brahmacharya, some gruhasthashram, then the third is that the vanaprastha, the fourth is that sannyas. Economic life. Agriculture remained the main occupation of the people of that later Vedic age, and the both with the that agriculture, other occupations like art and craft flourished in this period. This period there was improvements in different crafts like weaving, spinning, leather making, pottery making, and carpentry, jewelry making. These all occupations flourished during this time. So weapons such as arrowheads, spearheads, they are made up with the irons and they use irons. Various agricultural tools were made up and were produced by the iron smiths. They made some arrows and spears, then agricultural tools with the use of irons. Then trade also flourished during this period. Religion is there. Most of the early Vedic early Vedic gods were lost their importance. Most of the early Vedic gods like Vayu, Agni, Varun, that they all lost their importance, and new gods that like Brahma, the creator, Vishnu, the preserver, and Shiva, the destroyer, they replaced the old gods. Hinduism, as it exists today, began to take shape in this period. So that Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, they god came, and a new god emerged. Religion worship became that complex, and sacrifice given greater importance. So religion became that complex and that expensive for the common people. The priest became the important and the powerful person in that time. They performed some sacrifice for the king and for the common people. In return, the priest was getting something like gold, cloth, or car. During this period, new developments happened in religious philosophy and emerged in concept of ideas such as the moksha and that karma. That all moksha of man after death it depend on its karma. So that action, karma, means good actions did by the man will get that moksha. Man could attain salvation when it did good work. Education. As per the sources of information, we get education was limited for the first three that varnas, our first three classes. The system of education was that prevalent among the Aryans was the Gurukul system. The teacher or the guru lived in ashram in the forest far from the village or town. The student selected by the gurus, he or had to live with the gurus in the ashrams, and he had to study there and take care of ashrams, and he had to help that guru in his work, means he had to serve the gurus in other work. That pupils, they have to stay compulsory with the gurus, and sometimes they have to give that guru dakshina in for improving his knowledge. The teacher taught the students in Sanskrit language. Most probably that oral system was there. In oral, Guru taught that all things in the morning and the afternoon they have to work. They will go to take that wood for that to make food. They have to fill up that water. They have to cut wood or take care of that animals, that cow and that walls of Guru. So, in short, a student has to work all work offered by the Guru. The knowledge was passed orally in Sanskrit language. Most of this knowledge that from Vedic literature they got. Students were taught grammars and philosophies, medicine, astronomy, and whether some religious education. Then upper caste girls can they got education, but their educations were limited. They have to study at home and like some fine arts, singing and dancing. These were the all occupations of it. Understanding cultures through graves and burials. Many important changes happened during this period, and we got many graves and that burial sites. By this, we understand about that people. During this age, we got many graves in different sites. In some graves, we got different things of household things kept. In short, we came to conclusion that the people were believing life after death. So in second life, the all things useful to a person. So they kept many things in the grave with that dead people whenever they buried. So we got many things with the dead, like that is all things, whatever he was using, vessels, then cups, then food, some tools, weapons, all things we got from the buried site. Another skeleton got, it was just buried with the dead pots made up of mud. So we came on conclusion that people were buried according to that social status. The rich people tied them. He was buried with many things, and the poor people, it's like ordinary common people buried with the other things like common wood pots. So these were the sites and graves we got. We came in the conclusion that people they believe in the life after the death. So they keep engraved many things and many articles of the people. So this is a wonderful lesson about the Vedic age. I hope you understand it well. Okay, thank you children. Bye.